y'all, I'm back. I know there was a bunch of juicy stuff going on and I wasn't a part of it, but it's also like I have a job. I literally have a full-time job and it takes so much out of me to do this, and I run into so many hiccups trying to make these videos, edit these videos. Like if it's not one website that's down or crashing or whatever, it's another. If it's not that, then the iCloud is, extra slow. It's not backed up, and then it takes 2 hours to upload. You delete all your other photos and all your other pictures and it's still taking forever. Then you're on the Wi-Fi, you're shutting your phone down, you're turning it on and off, and you're trying to make a miracle work while doing all of this while working full time. It's very frustrating. I think there's reasons why, I can't always do this, and it just makes me upset because when I'm really in the mood and I'm ready to go and I got my things going, then boom, full stop. Can't do anything about it. Can't even make a move, and it's just so upsetting because it's like I want to put stuff out there all the time, and it's a race for everything. It's a race for everybody to get to the first information first. We know that, so it's annoying. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna just take this step by step as I can. I was talking a little bit about this in my other video that I can't even upload yet because it's still downloading. God forbid. But I'm just gonna keep trying to make this stuff and make it happen somehow, some way. But yeah, I got another one of Sloan, and she's talking about the fires and how, they could be intentional. I love how she speaks out the truth, what she feels, because other people feel this too. You're just resonating with other people and what they feel. I'm sorry, the camera just scooched away. My dog is over here. She just be messing with stuff. Yeah. So Sloan actually resonates with people. They be thinking the same thing. I literally said this in the video. It's time stamped and everything before she even said it. And I'm like, yeah, somebody thinks she's talking about it. Yeah, because we all just suspect the worst at this point. And not we all. It's just a very small few because they try to say we're fringe and all this stuff. We're the fringe crowd. So we believe all this conspiracy and all this bullshit. But at the end of the day, something's up, something's not right. Whether you want to say it's a distraction or whatnot, and they're burning evidence, maybe it is. And then there was someone saying there's an arsonist, and then there's someone saying there's billionaires that own it. All of it could be possibly true, and all of it could be chaotic, and some of it may be lies. But at the end of the day, we do know the billionaires hoard all of the resources and they take everything for themselves because they have money. We know this. We know this to be true. So these are subjects that are just being touched on, and I hope enough people can see this and rally and mobilize and say enough is enough, because you know what, we deserve some of that resources. Just because you figured out how to chop it down and make a whole bridge out of it doesn't mean that you deserve all of our resources. We have to work together systemically within a system to help each other out, and not just one for all. And we know socialism and all that stuff doesn't work because there's always one person that wants the most out of everything, and that's the seriousness of what we need within a society. That people can have what they want to have, but we have to be realistic. Like, you cannot have billions and billions of stuff. Like, it just doesn't make sense. That's a lot of our resources that are being depleted and being used up. So I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's okay. And we've got to get a better handle on it. We've got to get a better handle on things, because you come up with ideas does not make it universally yours and yours alone, and you decide to hoard all the money in the world. It just shouldn't work like that. And we've gotten beside ourselves, and we need to start thinking outside the box and coming up with creative new ways. But yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit, and it's a lot of stuff going down, and we're nosy, and we're the nosy neighbors. We're checking in, we want to see what's going on. Conspirasneakers, I got me some new boxes, I got me some new stuff I want to show you guys, because I'm going to create some accessorized sneakers. Hopefully this gets me in the door as well, gets me a deal. And like I said, if these people are talking about this crazy stuff and doing this crazy thing, and all I'm doing is standing up for what's right and just trying to promote good things at a low valuable cost, then there's nothing wrong with that. I should be able to get a deal. I should be able to shine and get the things that I want as well. So I'm just gonna try to play this video because I love me some Sloan. I think she's amazing. I think that she knows what time it is. Like, she don't be bullshitting. And some people feel like they don't listen to that or believe that. That's fine. You don't have to. I think people go to the community leaders and the people who they trust in the community. And she is fairly new, and she's a fairly new person. to the to my community, and but it's a lot of my beliefs that I feel goes along with this stuff. So I think that she has great ideas and she's got great topics and she hasn't been wrong. And a lot of things that I feel she says that just resonates with me, and I'm sure they resonate with a lot more people. It's not just a one-off, it's multiple things. And whether it's the psychic ability or not, I think it's the people ability, real recognize real, and I feel like she's spitting some facts here.
I literally started this by accident tonight before I had the camera ready, and now it's sideways for some reason. This wouldn't be home without all of this nonsense, right? Okay, so, oh my god. Okay. I'm trying to fix it. Oh geez, y'all. Okay, there, it looks like it might be fine, guys. I literally did not mean to turn this on right now because I didn't have it ready and it went on and I was all sideways. I'm like, oh my god, I'm all sideways. Hi you guys. I'm exhausted, you all. These freaking fires. What is going on with everybody? Yeah, we got evacuation notices, but for us, I just moved from where the Eaton fire is, which is Altadena, Sierra Madre. I just moved from there, and now Mount Wilson's, it's not just Hollywood. I have friends in Malibu that lost their houses completely. I have friends in Altadena that lost their houses. I have friends' parents that lost their houses. Luckily, 6 months ago, it was in June, I moved from that area on the side of Mount Wilson back over here, where I'm not telling you where I am, but back over here. So I'm in between like 3 fires. Mount Wilson's on fire. I can't fucking stand it. All those little bears that were on my stories all the time. Remember the little bears that were my friends? The babies, the cubs, the moms, all of that. They used to come at dinner time. I don't know where they're going. So I moved from there, which was weird. But we have one fire down the street. Paige just texted me that one this afternoon. And then there's West Hills, but that's down the freeway the other way. Simi Valley, that's down the freeway north. But I travel all these areas. And I know the bears, seriously, the sweet bears. Like it's that mountain that if you guys watch my IG story and you see me going up to the towers, there's like a row of them like that. That's Mount Wilson. It is incredibly beautiful. It is, I have Keith's ashes up there. There's woodpeckers that live in the trees up there, and they're really friendly, and they're our friends because they peck. Not my neighbor when I lived there because they ate through his house. Yeah, I know they're not being honest. My friend's house burned to the fucking ground. Just unbelievable. She didn't even unpack her bag from Malibu, right where the fire, those restaurants, going back 40 years, we eat in those restaurants. It's gone. Altadena, gone. Like fucking gone. And the little animals, Sweet Moon Shadows is gone. Duke's is gone. The beach club is gone. Like all these little places, it's gone. And and no water. That's Gavin Newsom. Hear me clearly. Do not vote that man for president. Do not do that because you're gonna have a problem with me at this point. I'm gonna go crazy. So
there's so many people that don't like Gavin Newsom and always say that because he's good looking doesn't mean he's not the devil. Just because he's good looking doesn't mean he's not the devil. And I hate to say it like that, but literally those are the ones that are the worst. Charming as fuck, and then you got under your spell, and then what? Next thing you know, you're doing shit that you shouldn't be fucking doing.
Yes, well, they're getting rid of the history. Well, the history of the area. I'm just, I gotta fix shit all the time with my cameras. I'm gonna learn, but I just don't have the patience to do so. And this is Unprofessional Podcast 101. That's who I am, unprofessional. But the fires, it's very interesting because you are not allowed. Okay, so first of all, the reason for these fires, in my opinion, psychically, okay, and there's arson. They're popping up. The areas in between are 30, 40 miles, and it's across freeways, but it's the Getty, that's suspicious. Anyway, is because they are LA County, okay? That's not Orange County, that's not like Palm Springs, it's not Burbank, but LA County is going to be designated to be the first AI smart city in 2028. So what they're doing is they're segregating us. And when you look at, like, for example, Mount Wilson, when you look at Mount Wilson, you can go all the way to like Mountain High from Mount Wilson. You can traverse across the top. They're taking that ability away. They shut down Mount Baldy for a year. They shut down Chantry Flats, which is another way up Mount Wilson, for 4 years. Never opened it back up. Now they're going to shut down Sierra Madre Trail up Mount Wilson. That's where I was living for the last year. I can say it now. I live literally on the Mount Wilson Trail. That is where I live. That's why the bears came. Like, I got a little cabin there, and that's where I lived. I talked to my former landlord. He said his house is okay. Their houses, and the one I was in, is okay. But it went, the Eaton fire is like Hastings Ranch around the corner. It's like a mile up the street. I would go there with Maya, and we'd eat fish. Anyway, it's like around the corner, and it's the other side up Mount Wilson. So it's hitting Mount Wilson. If it hits Mount Wilson, the top, the towers, then we lose all of our communication, our cell service, our this. I know Chantry Flats is the most beautiful trail. Remember the waterfalls, all the pretty water, you go down. The only thing I hated about that trail is you go down and then back up. I hate the down and up. Yeah, well, we have to build it back, but you understand, for example, it's definitely arson, and it's definitely targeted areas. And they are going after houses that have tunnels under them, for sure. The Getty, these other tunnels. They want smart cities, and they don't want any of us, okay, to travel. So, just to give you an example, I have remember my car got...
Be quiet.
And what was I saying in my other video? Like, I feel like we need to make the connections. We are regular people making these freaking connections. I said this toll thing in New York where you have to pay a toll to each borough or each city or whatever they're doing, each sectioned off, where you have to pay a separate toll, not even just to get into New York, but just to travel around on a day-to-day basis. Like, that's almost $300-400, even maybe more, because if you're a delivery person, you're delivering goods, or you're a plumber, who needs to get about in the city and fix, not just housing, but buildings and all this other stuff, a Dollar General, whatever those stores, restaurants, whatever you want to claim, and you need services by plumbers and all these things, just say those fees are going to go sky high because they only want certain people in the city, and only certain people are going to be able to afford that. That in itself is cruel and mischievous in itself. If you look at the facts here, everything is going to go up. It's going to take 5 roommates to even live in certain areas because they don't want you living there. They're going to make it higher and higher and higher prices, forcing you out of those areas where you're going to have to retreat to the woods and shit and start living like the abominable snowman, whether you're living in snow or in the desert, whatever. You're going to become some desert swamp monster because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to afford shit. And the people who have, the little bit of stuff that they do have, on the outskirts, they're going to try to protect their shit. It's going to be like some crazy Armageddon world. I don't want to get that deep and that crazy and dive that crazy into it, but literally they don't want you on the streets, and I literally was saying this in my tweets. In my video, I am literally saying this with my full chest. They do not want you there, and they're figuring out more ways, not only with this COVID thing, but they're trying to figure out more ways where you're not on the streets, because there's just no way that people are going to be able to keep withstanding this. There's no way. Stuff are just going to increase in general. Even just if you live in a certain place and you have to get food delivered, that's going to be $20 more. Just add that into your bill. Like people are outraged. Just to eat and be regular, you're having to spend double, triple times the money. It's coming to a head. It's gonna come to a head. Believe me when I say that.
Eaten by rats. Yes, it's a true story. That was last year. So I had to purchase another car in February. I have driven 32,000 miles and it's not February. I live in Los Angeles. I just go here. I don't do anything extravagant. I take a couple of trips to Palm Springs and stuff like that. But 32,000 miles. So if they get me to a point where I'm segregating and I can't go out more than 15 miles. I had to buy my car outright. You can't really lease them when you drive that much. You cannot. You cannot lease them, okay? So I started leasing it and then I paid it off because I don't want to be controlled. 12,000 miles. Yes, my car eaten by rats. No, it was. The rats died in my car. That was after the P. Diddy thing broke and they did. So what I'm saying is, in the car, when you drive from Palm Springs to LA, so you're doing 160 miles and whatever else. Yeah, they want everything electric, but here, I'm gonna tell you something. So, I hate to admit this, but I went to Planet Fitness for a shower and they were super nice. The little girl at the counter, oh yeah, some people do drive less than that. I have friends, for example, if I'm going to Malibu to see my friend whose house burned down, I'm gonna drive 40 miles, 80 miles, 100 miles for breakfast, for lunch, for, 4th of July. That's what I'm doing, right? That's what I'm doing. So in the morning, I'm driving 50 miles round trip to hit any particular mountain, right? That I wanna hike on, all of those kinds of things. So I'm just doing all of that. No, I went to Planet Fitness at like midnight last night, 11 midnight. Little girl behind the desk, she's like, we don't have any Wi-Fi. And I'm like, but do you have hot water? She's like, yeah. So I wore my flip-flops in. I put my lock on the thing. I went into the shower and I undressed in the shower. And then I put my little clothes in a bag outside. And then I took my little shampoo in there and did all of that. And then, and then I was like, oh my God, hot water. Yay. And then I put hot water on a pot on the thing I cook on outside, the grill, so that I could have hot water inside because we literally, yes, it was definitely triangles. You have no idea. It was fucking terrifying. It was like, my friend sent me her video from trying to get out on Carbon Canyon Road, trying to get out of there. You know what I'm talking about, Estelle and Mark. Anyway, they're sending the video, and I'm like, Jesus. I mean, what the is going on? I mean, just what? No, I had no water. They shut our power off. I don't think John's house, where the kids are, and John, I don't think they still don't have their power on down the street. It was like every few streets. Like when I went to Planet Fitness, fitness, whatever. I just said it. Anyway, when I went there, you know where I mean. When I went there, it was, all the street lights were out. But here's the interesting thing. So I pull into the parking lot, right? And I see lines of cars in the parking lot. And I'm like, I hope they don't want to shower because I want to fucking shower, right? So, because I had to get up and exercise this morning. So I could not go out running, which makes me pissed off. So I went and got a treadmill, walking pad. John's like, you're never going to use that. I'm like, I can't get up a mountain right now, but I'll find somewhere. If I have to drive to Arizona, I'm going. But anyway, so there's lines of cars out of is it Planet Fitness? Yeah, or whatever that is. I just said it and I can't remember. My brain is fried. There were lines of cars. So they had lights on, they had power on, they had electricity, right? So they were waiting to plug their electrical Teslas in and whatever else. And they were 20 cars deep in they only had 3 outlets. So literally, like John, Planet Fitness, thank you. I just said it and then it went out of my head. Because I so don't shower in public anymore. That was my stripper days. That was my stripper days. I'm gonna start working on my calisthenics. I have no more room for any more exercise equipment, truth be told. And I can't put my, silks outside because, oh my God. Anyway, So if they turn the electric off, where are the Tesla people going to do their cars? Like, I watched them last night. I went in the shower, I came out of the shower. I talked to all these families, women, in the shower with their little kids, super cute, showering in the showers. It was actually pretty interesting. I blow dried my hair, I took my little bag. I have a little travel hair dryer, so I just keep my flip-flops in the car and all of that. And my little, that's what happened. So I was like going in there and out there. So I come out and these Teslas are all lined up and other electric cars, but mostly Teslas. And I'm like, they're still in a fucking line, okay? Yeah, well, because here's the thing. So I have a Jackery. Y'all know what a Jackery is? It's a, hold on. I'm going to show you because I'm fucking obnoxious. Hold on. Oh, God. So this is my Jackery. I sound crazy. Right here, right? So it's 100% charged right now because I charged it in the wall socket. So this is what I needed it for. Let me show you this. I had this already, so I'm the only one in the neighborhood that had this. My secret weapon, so that I could get online because I'm a crazy bitch. When they take Mount Wilson down and they, solar generated takes 3 to 4 hours to get it working again, right? So I couldn't plug it into a wall. So I was gonna go to the warehouse and do it, but it was like 1 o'clock in the morning and John's like, just stay home because I'm worried if you go to the warehouse in the middle of the night by yourself and plug that thing in when there's nothing in there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, I had my internet on all day with it, but I had to get in the car and try to charge it while driving and charge my phone. Thank you for that, Brittany, thank you. So I had to do that. But here was my secret weapon. And this is the best, the best thing. No, John was right. He's like, stop wandering around at midnight. I can't help it. I was like, okay, I can't go running. My classes have been canceled. Let me just stay up all night and do stuff. You know, weird shit. Hold on, watch this, you guys. Okay, y'all are gonna think I'm fucking crazy, but I bought this because in my head, I was gonna be in van life. So, what is this, you ask? It's Starlink. Now, let me just tell you about Starlink. I know, we don't like Elon Musk, but here's where I do like Elon Musk. There was no internet, okay? So nobody could get on to the internet. I couldn't get on, like my house internet disappeared. Spectrum disappeared. The other one, Fios, whatever, Frontier, they disappeared. The neighbor had that gone. The neighbors were out on the street trying to get cell service, right? This bitch is in the house because I got this for my car, and you can actually, I'll show you what it looks like, because this is the mini. I sound like I'm selling it, I'm not. I just was really impressed because I was able to get online and be doing it. But I'm thinking more like if I have to live in my car, because I always think that. Like I'm gonna be homeless, or I have to live in my car, and I've been homeless, so they didn't have this when I was homeless, so I'm like this. But this is the mini one. So it does cost you like $5.99 to buy this. It's all dusty from the fire. This and the cord. It comes with the case, and it has a big cord. So I plugged it into the Jackery, right? And then you pay $50 a month. It smells like fire. It's totally worth it. If Mount Wilson goes down, the cell phones won't be there, but I will have service on this because it's my own internet, right? No, it's $50 a month. I have the mini travel. And you can pause it. So when I don't use it for a month, I pause it. And let's say like the fires happen, I put it back on. Anyway, this is the mini travel, right? It's not the full one. The full one is like $120 a month, which still you're paying that for your cell phone, but that's not what I'm paying. I'm paying $50. I also have the Magic Hawk 8 van life like hotspot. That thing didn't work. This thing, we drove it up to Mount Wilson. Like I ran up the fires that are burning. Did you know in LA County, Laurel Canyon is by Runyon Canyon. Mount Wilson hiking trail, gone. Runyon Canyon, on fire. Mount Baldy, fire. Santa Clarita, fire. Burbank, oh gosh. You guys are killing me. Yeah, I'm like 3 miles from a fire. It's right over the hill, right there. I'm sorry, the other lady said her son took his own life. Yeah, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to do the same thing. Like, you're going to have to do the same thing. It's not the idiots, it's the government starting the fire. They are doing this because they want us to be a smart city. Yeah, no, we've had to evacuate. We were supposed to evacuate. I had a bag, I had shit in my car. I started a fire by me last night, but for some reason it's not. It is getting awfully hot though. I feel when the flares happen, but yes, I have heard of the psychic twins, long time ago. Anyway, when you look at it, they've stopped every hiking trail. Now here's what's interesting. This blew my mind, because I have a friend that has like a compound property, okay? So he runs his business office property, and it's many, many acres, and there's a river that runs through it. Sounds like a movie. Anyway, there's a river that runs through it, and he has like a warehouse where he does his work, and it's a big, huge thing, right? Anyway, long story short, he was told by the city, it's LA County they're after, because they can control us. They can't control Burbank, it's independent, right? But he collected rainwater. So he put big tins, I don't know what you call them, and collected rainwater, right? That's illegal. These bitches, these government fucking bitches, think that you can't collect God's rainwater. And they've made up West Nile. I'm not saying there isn't West Nile, but they said if you get, like, you're gonna make West Nile come. No, it's illegal to collect rainwater. That tells you their agenda. Also, all of the snow that comes down through the Canadian, the eastern...
that sounds so crazy. My grandparents used to collect their own water in Jamaica. Well, my grandmother on my mom's side, you know, but still, like, that sounds absurd. Like, that you could be penalized for doing some shit like that. Like, I'm about to go get a tank and put that shit on my damn property and see what the fuck is up, because ain't no way you gonna tell me that I can't collect some motherfucking rain water from the natural earth. Ain't no way. This is absurd to me.
Sierras, and it comes down. Newsom has sold it off, siphoned it off, and it goes all the way through LA, but not to LA. Yeah. And then Gavin Newsom, please don't vote him in, but Gavin Newsom says, well, the cities can handle the water. Really? Can they? Because I don't think they can handle it. Since you take the money to do the fire department, and the fire bitches, 3, shut down several of my friends' businesses due to fire codes. Now they're gonna get their asses kicked. So, yeah, no, I've got my pictures on a disc. Let me show you what I do. I'm so weird, I did this after Keith died because I couldn't bear to have a fire, even a pretend fire, take my pictures, but let me show you what I do. So, when Keithy died, I had all his pictures digitized. These are 2 terabyte discs. They have an extender thing if you have.
That's really a good idea, you know, because a lot of that stuff does get lost. I mean, you can have it on your phone, but like people from like that time, the 80s, the 90s, they want to keep their pictures. Like, I know my mom's got pictures like that. My cousin, she passed away 2 years ago. God rest her soul. It's gonna be, 3 years this April, I believe. Or 2 years. No. Jeez, I feel so bad. Like, I think it's gonna be like the 3rd year. This April. Wow, it's crazy. My cousin, she passed away at the age of 27. They're not really sure of what it was, but my aunt had pictures from like the 90s and everything like that. Just tons of pictures, and she got them digitized and put on the computer, and she was gonna save them on the computer to like print them, but she didn't get through the whole process. and my uncle somehow, some way, was using the computer that she saved everything on, because her friend that she worked with, my aunt, uploaded everything for her, but I guess they didn't put it on the actual thumb drive or whatever. They didn't do that part. I guess she was waiting, and she put everything on the computer, like everything she had, and he went in one day and just like needed to use the computer for something, and I was like, oh well, you don't have enough memory or whatever, and he like wiped the whole thing, like completely wiped the whole thing. Like she was devastated. I could just hear how hurt she was, and that was just her last straw with him. They're separated right now. I guess they're on good terms, like as you can be, but I think that was just the last straw, that he basically went ahead and deleted all these files. Like, you never used this computer, one. Why the hell are you on this computer at all? Two. And then three, you don't have the right to delete nothing without, letting me know what's going on, because this is her work computer. Like her old work computer that you saved everything on, and like her person from work like downloaded everything to it they were like leaving, and it was like the computer tag. So they like hooked it up for her, and she was supposed to put it on a thumbnail drive, and she never got that far. But like, imagine like all your pictures, like from they were kids and all this stuff, like just lost. Like just, she's got some stuff, like actual photos, but a lot of the stuff that was on the computer is just like gone. Like memories gone, and her child died. So what she's saying right here is very relevant to my life as well, because that's crazy. You should do stuff like that. You should back it up, because some of this stuff do fail, and other things happen, unforeseeable things happen, relatives happen, they do stuff that you would never imagine. So, I know my uncle felt like an ass, but it was like, why would you even do something like that? And instead of upgrading it for more, it was like probably $3 or $4 more to just upgrade it. This guy's like damn near a millionaire, and instead of upgrading it, he deletes everything because he's like, oh no, I'm not spending any more money on storage. Like, so she was also mad about that he's such a cheapskate, and like he just penny pinches, and he doesn't even need to. Like literally, you have the money for that, and like just to delete all of that was just like, just crazy, just absolutely insane without even having a conversation. And they can't get back the files; they're all gone. He did a lot of things, he did a lot of things in that relationship, and that was just the last straw, especially when it came to money. Like, she died, and he could have paid for the whole funeral, but they decided to go half on it, even though he makes way more money. But my aunt's not gonna fight him on that. But he's so cheap to the point where he doesn't even care about his own child's funeral, like taking care of it and all this other stuff. And I know that sounds one-sided, but I feel like if you make more money, then maybe you should take care of it. Like, if I'm with a man and he makes more money, I kind of expect that. But she takes care of the house in other ways too. Like, she literally takes care of stuff in other ways. And she literally told him, don't cash the check for the funeral. She paid for the whole thing, and then he was going to pay her the other portion of it. And that's the crazy part too. She had to pay it out of her pocket, and she told him not to cash the check. And he went ahead and cashed the check, and the check ended up bouncing, and they had this whole rigmarole. So he's just like super cheap guy. But yeah.
A different kind of computer, so you don't have to just use a C thing and like a thing or whatever. Anyway, I made these for John, Jason, and anyone else. So this has all our documents on it, all of our driver's licenses, all of our whatever, all John's childhood pictures, and then I have the boxes still saved. They're like, do you want to throw the pictures out? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm keeping the pictures. So I made triplicate copies of these, okay? Triplicate. Every year at Christmas, I phone Elijah, and we download my pictures off of the iCloud onto here and keep them on the iCloud. Then, this is only 2 terabytes. It's already full. I have peace, accident pictures, legal papers, court works, everything. Okay, John has them, and if there's a fire, it hooks right on you. I gave them to Deanna and her family after Jesse passed, so they have them. And this is exactly, you just hook it onto your purse, and you take this. It has every picture that we have. Like, it has all of these, it has childhood pictures, it has videos. It's an external hard drive. This is a SanDisk one. This is 2 terabytes. It's probably about $100. These are at like $100. This one's Jason's. He still hasn't come to get it, but it's here. Then, since I have so many videos and stuff I do, I got this one. It is also a SanDisk. It's this one. It's the external hard drive. This has 14 terabytes. I have this by the front door packed, and I have 2 of them. So I have it backed up and put into 2 separate places, so that if anything happens, other people have it, and I have it on mine. That's how bananas I am about pictures, because my son died. So I didn't want any of them getting gone. You know, so that's what I did. So I have them right here so I can run out the door with them. Yes, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I have key sashes, I have the passports, and I have purses and cat food in the cat. That's what I took. And shampoo and a couple pairs of shoes and blah, blah, blah. All of that. So I have all of that. So that's how I do it. And then, even to be even weirder, because I am weirder, I have these little 2 terabyte Samsung ones, and I have a case. So I've already put several of these, thank you for the super chats, into the case. So I have them. I have them hidden in my car. I have them hidden there, here, there, everywhere. So people know, how did Tallulah do? She's fine. She has her pink carrying bag. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. We just go. But that's actually what I think is important. If you want to do something after a child passes, this is what you do. Document their life. There's another thing. You can put videos together. You can find someone to do a memory video of your child, just to put up on YouTube so that family and friends, you can create. I just have bug out cars. I have just a little car, but the Getty's over on the 405. It's north, west, south. We all drive these freeways every day. Yeah, John and I, the month after Keith, the week before Keith died, I asked him to go bring up 6 huge tubs of photographs and photograph books that me and John had for our whole marriage, his childhood, my childhood, all of that. I am in LA. All of those things. And so Keithy delivered it, and I told him, I'm going to make books for you guys for Christmas. Well, of course, he died, and that was in July, and he brought it was so heavy. So as soon as we could, I found a place up in Orange County. It was actually I forget where it was, but it was somewhere in Orange County. I drove 10,000 pictures myself. You have to pack them a certain way. I drove them out there, and I had them make triplicate copies out there of everything for a price. It just cost you a bit to digitize, but they digitized. So that's what I did. And then I took those digital pictures, and I got them online, and I put them everywhere. So they are everywhere, so I don't lose them. That's it. That's the only thing that, what's the thing? It's called a external hard drive, but I use SanDisk, S-A-N disk. It's this. SanDisk. And then the other one is the Samsung, this one. And the other one is a bigger SanDisk. Anyway, that's what I did. I do projects for my son. I do all kinds of projects. I plant flowers, I paint rocks, people paint rocks, people plant flowers, I do whatever I can. Yeah, it's just, that's what I do. Anyway, check it. I know these fires, LA is never going to be the same, right? We will never be the same. Like Hollywood Boulevard, wait, I know my taxes. Oh God, yeah, unbelievable. Anyway, my friend's up patrolling. He's just texting right there. He's patrolling Mount Baldy right now. He's up there doing that. Yeah, I'm not sponsored, but this is just how I handled my life right there. And I did it immediately. I didn't talk about it. I didn't wait for it. I just fucking did it. Took all those pictures out, did it. Because you know what? I thought there could be fires anyway. Electrical shit can happen all the time. That's the thing with electrical, y'all. When I watch those Teslas all, like outside waiting in line, that's going to be a huge problem. So here's what I learned. Okay, so my neighbor had a generator, so his was loud, and then at John's house, our other neighbor had a generator, and hers was loud. So I learned that there are generators. They're probably $1,000 to $2,000. The Honda one apparently is one of the best ones. Yes, Honda like the car, and I do like my Honda car. But anyway, the Honda ones are one of the best ones, and it uses propane and gas. And apparently, the propane, like your barbecue, so that's easy. Keep that in your backyard, simple. You can carry that in your car, and you can hook up that generator, right? There you go. You kept duplicates at your mom's. So smart. So you can. I love my Honda. Me and Keith bought a Honda at the same time, and then Jason, and then John. So we got 4 Hondas going on here, and it's called a double inverter generator. Anyway, it's gas. So for 3.4 gallons of gas, it will last 18 hours. That's not much. That's like a 5-gallon can, and you can go get gas until they fall out of gas, and then you can't use the machines, right? Possibility, but I thought I'm gonna do that. Yes, the fires, there were, no, not necessarily Burbank, they didn't hit, but you can't run out there, it's just god awful. Yeah, I know. I don't care what Jay-Z says. Jay-Z should learn how to spell, or at least his team should learn how to spell. I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what they're doing? They're hiding evidence underneath the houses where the kids have been trafficked and all of that. That's what they're doing. That's the first thing. Secondly, when people call me crazy, because they do, when they call me crazy, they should actually know that P. Diddy is being accused on at least 400 separate occasions of doing these things that we all speak about that apparently were fucking crazy, right? No, I've been saying this for like 30 years. I'm crazy like, I don't know, whatever. I'm not crazy. You can call me whatever you want. I'm sober. I can observe the world. I've seen it. I understand it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, period. Yes, this is a live chat. It is all over the place because you know why? It's my channel. It's my channel, and you don't have to be here. That's the beauty of a free country. I will go all over.
Be quiet.
And that's the beauty of everything. I love being all over the place. I sometimes try to bring it back with her and like chop up the videos, but she's free to talk and say whatever. You know, I enjoy her ranting. I listen to it while I work and play, and I think it's entertaining. And I think it's crazy how she comes back to this saving the children. Like, what's going on with that? Like, I hear there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. I heard some girl, Ali Carter, on Twitter or wherever. I seen it on Twitter, and she was talking about there's a lot of stuff coming out in the next few weeks that are going to be distractions. And she said this back in like October, November in the new year. And she was basically saying revelations, and it's like now here is Sloan as well, bringing it back to the kids. And this girl was allegedly trafficked. Well, she said she was. That was her story to tell. You know, I can't say nothing about that, but I think it's unbelievable that it's coming back to this again. So they're saying someone's going to be called out here, and you guys are going to be shocked and unbelievable. At this point, I'm not shocked, and I believe everything, because at this moment, there are some things you just can't explain. I feel like the very powerful, very wealthy get away with a lot of stuff, so there's just no way that, you know, it's not happening. Like, you know, maybe a few people don't let it happen, but I think majority of those people let it happen. It's freaking nuts. She's got a 2-hour video, okay? I don't think I'm going to do 2 hours, but yeah, that's wild.
For the place, because I'm intelligent enough to jump from topic to topic. And I'm well versed and educated on the topics I'm speaking about. But thank you for pointing out that it's going all over the place. As if that's a bad thing. Like I'm not one-dimensional. Or am I just supposed to speak about one thing? Hi, I'm a puppet on the news. Let me just regurgitate crap. Okay, anyway. So, what they're doing is the fires, if you look at it, they systematically set them in all the corners. And they took down particular things while deflecting with regular people amongst them. And a lot of the houses...
Also to add, I was listening to someone else today, and she was talking about, you know, how these people are talking about the celebrities and what they lost. Like, nobody really gives a shit. I'm not saying, you know, people don't lose stuff, and yeah, it's sad, but you know, if you're talking about you lost your
Get
second, third
dressed with
home, some people don't
me.
give a shit. This Nyla, she was saying people are literally not gonna be able to afford another home, and that is the sure enough truth. Like, I'm a homeowner, and I own my own home, and I know that if something was to happen,
Get
it
dressed
ain't
with
gonna happen.
me.
It's just gonna be so hard and difficult that I just could not do that process again. It's just so difficult. I don't know. I'd have to really go through a lot to do that, but I feel that 100%. Like, Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, is like, oh my God, that
Get
was my
dressed
favorite
with
house, and I lost my
me.
house. Like, how many houses do you have? And why are they showing all these celebrities? I'm not saying that, you know, they don't work hard or whatever. Some of them, you know, and it's sad, but once again, we don't need to see more celebrities. We need to
Get
see
dressed
regular
with
people and be helping
me.
them. Not saying celebrities aren't people, but they can help themselves more. They can easily find shelter and other things where other people do not have that access, do not have that coverage, do not have any of those things. So I want people to really understand that, you know, this is a kind of us versus them kind of situation. And I hate to be that person, but it's getting out of control where the wealth gap is just widening more than it should and more than it needed to be, you know. So say whatever you want about me. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, the truth is what the truth is.
This had tunnels under them and things like that, right? Plus, now we are at their mercy. They're not going to let us go. Now they've said you can't go into the burn areas because it's toxic, right? And you can't go get anything. Okay, why can't you go get anything if it's burnt to the ground? What are you actually going in there to get? Number one. Number two, it's your property. You can do whatever you want with your property, okay? You can do that. So fuck them. It doesn't matter. If it's my property and it's toxic, I can, like Paradise, California. Bingo, exactly. The other thing is, a lot of the celebrities that you see have behaviors that are less than favorable. So, regardless, not all of them, but some of them. So, they systematically hit houses of certain people, and everybody in between got annihilated with it because it's a fire. Since when, and I'm going to argue this point till the day I die, since when have the Santa Anas been in January? I've been here 40 years almost, and next year I think it'll be 40 years. 40 years in this country. I have never seen the Santa Ana winds in January. I've seen snow, I've seen rain. We're always, it's end of October. I can remember like driving and feeling the Santa Ana winds all around like Halloween and right after. Okay? That's the time frame. So now they're telling us it's happening now. And suddenly the winds are 100 miles an hour. Just suddenly, boom, out of nowhere. And I mean, they were pretty, like I was sitting here going, what the hell is going on? You know, my friends are calling up the street. Lori and I are okay. Lori was calling me, I was calling her. She went out of power first. John went out of power. First Lori went out, then John's house went out, then my house went out. Paige's house didn't go out. I think Debbie's house went out. So there were several people we were talking. So it was just systematically. Now mine's back on, Lori's back on. Everybody else's is back on. John's is not back on. So it's hard. Exactly. They are weather manipulating in order to have the outcome they desire, which is to, it was definitely hurricane force winds. I was laughing when I was outside taking the garbage bin in and my camera flew off the roof, went into the neighbor's yard. Yeah, no, I'm safe, I'm fine. I just had to shower in the gym. That's not really safe, but yeah. It was directed. It was 100%. If you saw, okay, so Pacific Palisades in Malibu, that's like up Sunset Canyon. And you can't really get out of that area. Like once you're on PCH, you can't, like, you're stuck. You can go that way or that way. You're not really going, because you got the ocean and then you got the mountains. You're not really going anywhere else, right? Until you hit Topanga, and then you got to go up over. But everybody has to go up over. There isn't another way. Unless you go to Canaan and down by Pepperdine, etc. So they know that the people in those areas are more vulnerable because no one can get in or out. And if they evacuate you, where are you going? Did you see the traffic jams? So it's mismanagement. All of these people, celebrities included, pay a shit ton of taxes. And this fucking moron that runs California, this garbage ass weirdo, okay, literally took money along with the mayor lady, whatever, I am not even, what is her name? Karen Black, is that her name? I don't know. But whatever her name is, that lady who wasn't even here, that crazy person, she took the fire money and allocated it somewhere else. Karen Bass, thank you. She should be going to, I don't even know who she is really. So I just saw her and I'm like, I hate you. I hate you, you fucking asshole. I hate you.
Get dressed with me. To say that, it wasn't her fault because they were pressuring her to cut the bill. So she cut the funding for $17 million. Because she was being pressured. She was being pressured by the Republicans. There's always this. Get dressed with me. Why don't you guys go into office and stand the fuck up? Like, why don't y'all do that? Instead of going into office and fucking bowing down and being little bitches, how about you stand the fuck up and let them fucking take you out of that position? Because this is ridiculous. How the fuck do you guys do this shit? They're just all evil. No matter what you want to say, no matter how you slice it, they always want to find, Republicans, Democrats, when they're working hand in hand, taking the money behind our backs, stealing it. That's basically what they're doing.
She's flying back into town. I didn't hear her. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Nothing. And then Newsom is literally on a TikTok. Some ladies, she's the mayor. I don't pay attention to that. What I can tell you is our councilwoman, and I can't remember her name down the street. I can't remember it. I'm sorry, my brain is like this. So the whole street's out on lights, but the councilwoman's sled and Christmas lights are on in her building and nobody is there. None of these people should have a career. That's the point. None of these people should have any kind of career when they don't allow Californians. They keep saying it was a water pressure problem. These people turned the hoses on their property. The government doesn't own your property, bitches. You own your property. So these fucking people turned the water pressure off so they couldn't save their own houses. Now, what does that tell you now? Stop listening to the government. Get your big containers of water, and every time it rains, collect that water, because that's the only way you're going to save your house. Because your city hates your guts, okay? Your city, not the firemen. I'm not talking about the firemen.
But how are you going to put the fire out with the water? You're going to have to get some hose that's going to be attached to that, that's going to work, that's going to pump it out like this. It's going to be hard, but it can be done.
The firemen were the ones out there, and they don't have water, so they're going to burn to death. Like, they're out there risking their life, and they don't have water. Yeah, where is Oprah? Exactly. Her house never burns. It's like fabulous. She's just lucky. Isn't she lucky? Super lucky. So she's so lucky. But they don't have, and where, I heard the bullshit. Because, okay, so I have friends that live in Montreal, Canada, because I'm Canadian. But these are friends I met in Los Angeles.
So I went ahead and picked up some stuff, and it's always hard for me to unbox. I swear, it's always a big issue because something's always going wrong. Gotta roll up my sleeves. I want to show you what the glove said. It says, stay cool, be nice. Always. That's always my motto. So here you go. Opening up my boxy of my Air Force Ones. Give me 2 pairs. I need 2 pairs to get it popping in my Air Force Ones. I know I probably butchered that song. It's been years since I sung it, since I probably even really heard it on the radio. But yeah, I got a little thing coming. I want to do a little Air Force collab, about that life. I'm trying to get this brand deal. I keep talking about these brand deals because you gotta put it out there, but Sloan don't believe in manifestation now, but I believe something different. So I got me 3 pairs with them crisp forces, and they're all different sizes because I want to work on this and get it sold, you know, with my little details, my little canals, my little canals, you know. I want to hook it up, so somebody look out, you know, big things are coming. But yeah, thanks for coming by. Hope you guys like and subscribe. Stay tuned, I got some more stuff coming on the way. Peace out, love ya, bye bye.